We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's happening?
Man, you know what's crazy, bro? I'm sitting here and I had one of those days that I took as a kind of I don't know if it was an old man day or if it was old man day slash recovery day though, man. But I tried to I had my game on Sunday, then went to go hoop yesterday. So then I woke up this morning, body completely sore. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna kind of do some bumming today. I was working from the couch today. I did. I got out of my normal routine just to kind of relax a little bit today, though, man. I feel good, you know, pretty much with the day winding on down, no man. But boy, these bones are sore this morning, though. I said, golly, boy.
Yeah, man, that's the crazy part about getting older, bro. Their recovery time is definitely different.
Yeah, I always laugh though, man, because I at the job, man, they have part of our health and wellness program. They have a real age test where you can take a test, and it basically says based off of your medicals, as far as your blood pressure, cholesterol, yada yada yada, weight, height, blah 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 blah. So they do this assessment. You answer some questions, and so mine has said even at knocking on 43. That said my real age, my body's age is 34. But listen, after them games and that recovery time, I'll be like, nah, bro, these knees is all it is 43 today, though, boy.
Yeah. Speaking of which, bro, I got to go get violated tomorrow, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Ain't looking forward to it, but definitely, it's that time.
I knocked mine out early in the year so I can spend the whole year to recover from it, bro.
Look, that's why I took the whole day off, so I got the whole day to recover, bro.
Brutal.
Look, man, let's get this music popping off so we can get on to it.
Let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
Podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live from both platforms at the same time. You click on the bell, you get the notification, you get the heads up whenever your boys gonna do their thing. Nate's Kennedy. Hey, so we've been kind of alluding to this here, but class reunion is just next week, though, man. Like, what? Give me what you are looking forward to with that.
Man, I'm looking forward to just seeing everybody. We've been putting in a lot of work, meetings on top of meetings, trying to plan this, plan that. And ultimately, I just want people to have a good time. I mean, we got some big shoes to fill because of the class reunion for the 20th year was dope. So just want the 25 year to be equally as dope.
Yeah. I think that I missed the 20. Usually for me, September, October, at the beginning of October, usually a pretty big thing for me just because of birthdays, anniversaries, everything like that, though, man. So like it's like June and then right there in September, like big months for me. So I wasn't able to catch that 20. So I'm definitely looking forward to the 25, though, man. And so for me, there are the one thing that I'm trying to be intentional on is that this time around, when I slide, because I slide through the Cape periodically, though, right? And I think that the one thing that I'm trying to make sure I do this time around is I'm trying to make sure that there are certain people that I want to make sure that I see outside of the class reunion, though, man. So that's one of the things that I'm definitely looking forward to. It's just catching up with some people who I may have missed the last time or the time before that, though, man. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped, though, man. Very hyped.
You didn't got all your outfits together?
So for me, so I'm gonna be so my time, we're gonna be a day apart out there. You come in on Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
Okay, so I come in on Thursday, right? So because I come in on Thursday, and it was intentional because I wanted to. My mama's birthday is the week after that, right? And so because that's the case, though, I wanted to just have some time where I'm just, I'm gonna miss her birthday, so I want to do some things with her. Don't man, take her out. And so that was that big thing. So then, of course, Friday is the game. So I got my K-Town stuff ready for that. And then, of course, the all black joint is that Saturday, and so I'm situated on that. There's one little thing that I want to probably go ahead and get this week for that. But aside from that, though, man, I think that for me, I think I got just about everything. Yeah. Because I'm out on that Sunday. And so yeah, it worked out though, man. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not overpacking this time around, though,
No,
man.
I feel that. These joints just came in.
Woo! That's tough. That's tough.
Yes, I gotta flip them sometime that weekend.
Yo, I think so. For me, I think that I'm going with less is more. So my main kicks that I'm wearing out there, like I'm gonna be pretty much there with a lot of maroon on, just because
Yeah.
I'm only packing, probably like 2 pair of kicks. And that's pretty much it, though, man. So
Understandable. Because
yeah.
I'm driving, I can get away with just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm still planning to be very intentional on my packing. Like you said, I'm gonna be in a lot of maroon all week. I'm probably being maroon all weekend.
Yeah.
Some combination. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be wearing maroon, especially since your folks hooked me up with the extra hoodie, though, man. I think I'm gonna be in the maroon. Oh, I think every day. Thursday definitely gonna be in the maroon. Then Friday heavy. Saturday maybe even some maroon earlier in the day before the all black joint, and then yeah. And listen, oddly enough, though, man, it's kind of funny because like out here. It's just hard. You don't just come across a bunch of burgundy maroon stuff. Like it's something you really got to go and look for, though, man. And so now that I got kicks that require it, before I had my little burgundy hat. I had a couple little things, but I didn't have. As a Colleen alumni, you would think that you would have more burgundy and maroon, but I didn't until probably here recently, though, man. But I am yeah. It's gonna get cracking, though.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey man, what you think about dating in 2023? We've been off the market for a minute, bro.
Yeah.
And like a lot of stuff has changed. I randomly talked to like a bunch of people at work who are still single or still out there in the dating world. And I hear them talking about, because now the primary way to start dating is dating apps. You know what I'm saying? Like, lone are the days where you meet people in person type stuff. Like it's mostly everything is done online. And a lot of the dating apps even cost money. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to pay like monthly subscriptions to do them. I know Facebook dating is free, but for the most part though, everything out there costs. And so you out there just putting yourself out there, and it's different. Like a lot of the stuff that we did that was traditional, people ain't getting down like that no more.
So there's pros and cons, right, to that. Like, and listen, again, I think that to me, the pros is that, before, back in our day, you were kind of limited on who was in your area, basically, right? Who was in your city. So technically speaking, who knows, man, your true love of your life could be in Idaho, or could be in California, or could be in New York. But so it's almost like for us, you had to find love in the city, right? wherever you were at, though, man. So it's like, I think that that's one thing that is kind of that would be kind of different is when you say, no, I have, technically speaking, the entire world of single people at my fingertips that are on these apps and everything like that. I think that the one thing that would be weird for me and different for me is that I still think that I am a very I mean, I haven't been on the scene, so it's like I guess I only know what I know. You know what I'm saying? And so based off of that, I mean, I'm still an in-person kind of person. I think I'm still a very physically, affectionate person. I'm a touch person. So I think that, I'd imagine that provided that I just so happen to walk out on the dating scene now, I mean, I think I would make some adjustments, but I think that it would be making adjustments based off of what my prior dating history would be, and how dated that might be. I think that I would just have to find the person who would appreciate that, though, man.
I think that the other thing, the advantage, is you can shoot your shot, and if they shoot you down online, it's just on to the next.
Go.
You know what I'm saying? Like the rejection in person, I think, is more.
That's true.
Then which you get to talking to somebody online, you can get a quick conversation going to see if it's even worth the time. Whereas when you in person and you get that rejection, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole different ball game that I just don't think this generation really would know how to act with that.
I don't think so. This is the thing about it. It just sounds like that this generation doesn't really require you to have game, like in-person game. Like to me, like this is the way this is the one thing I think that I find to be very funny, right? Because like for me, and maybe I noticed this as a married guy, but every time that I go out, and I typically go out, and it might be that I'm on a date with the wife, or I'm out with some of my other friends, and most of my friends are also either married or in long relationships and everything like that, right? But every single time that I've ever gone out, everywhere I go, I always see women in droves. Most of the time, single women in droves, in packs. And it just has me, I look at that and I just think it can't be as difficult. Like I see a lot of people that will talk about the dating scene, specifically in Atlanta, right? And I just would imagine that maybe for a female, it's more difficult than for a guy. But when I'm out and about, I would basically think that, I'm looking around and all these packs and hordes of single women, all you have to do is shoot the same line. If you shoot the same line 10 times, it got to work at least one time, right? Once. That's all it takes. And so for me, I like I said, I don't know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how prepared I would be, but I don't think that I would be any less confident that in the dating scene than what I would be, because of the fact that if you just got the game, I still got game from 98. I got game from 2000, 2001. It's in me though, bro. So it's like, once you got it and you him, like, it doesn't have an expiration date to me though, bro.
But that's the thing though. When you grow up where it's all internet though, like I said, that in-person rejection is different. So the thing is that, I guarantee you, when you go out to eat with your wife, you look around at different tables and most people are on their phone, ain't having no conversation.
That's true. That's very true. But I think at the same time, we also grew up in that era as well, where you would, a female would diss some dude or turn a dude down, depending on how he do. You know what I'm saying? She get called all kind of bitches and hoes. I'm sure that happens still today, because that happened back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I understand that the upfront rejection is one thing, because the difference to me is this though, right? I think that when you look at it, and when you're doing it through social media, the first thing you're going off of is somebody's profile picture, right? Or the pictures that they post online, which is always going to be the very best representation of themselves. You're not going to have some chick take a picture and post, very rarely take a picture of them with the bonnet on, fresh out of the bed. They still got cold in the eye. They don't know. They posting a picture of them, their best representation of themselves. And so when you're actually trying to base you hollering off of somebody's the absolute best, and then you actually have to see them at their worst sometimes, I think that that's one of those things that people just aren't necessarily ready for. That I think that when you are used to, you got that in person. I think that you used to that already though, man. So I just think that personally though, man, that you are basing your I'ma holla, your game is based off of the representative that they are putting on out there though, man, not necessarily the reality. I think that like you can, when you read a text message, right? You're in your head, you don't know how this person sounds necessarily, so you might think she fine, she got to have a fine voice, so you're reading this text with how you think she might sound in your head, right? But you don't know that, you know what I'm saying, that she, when you're talking to her in person, that she say strawberries and scressin, and she don't pronounce the T's as K, like stuff like that, like it's stuff that you get in person that matters to me still though, bro.
What the other thing, the con, right, is the catfishing, where somebody done took some people's pictures, sitting here thinking you over here talking to this fine dime, and that's not the case though.
Well, that to me is a timeless thing though, right? Because that's the same thing where, what I'm saying, if you meet a chick and you see her in the club and just like normal, what I'm saying, you depending on where you meet her at, right? She might look cold for that night, especially you meet her in the club, right? And then you might see her, what I'm saying, sometime around or whatever, outside the club. And you think like, dang, this 10 is really about like a 6. She just looked like a 10 because you had a few drinks. And what I'm saying, she was made up, and she good with her makeup though, man. I think that that's the reason why I think it's funny to me that I think that when women are always kind of baffled that they may get hollered at when they're in sweatpants, when they just got their hair pulled back in some messy bun and some kind of, what I'm saying? Because as a guy, you might think, oh, okay, well, I'm watching you. I'm seeing you right here, not made up, without all of this other stuff, though. So I know if I think that you find right now, it can only go up. Right. So I think that where it's to the opposite, right? When you see somebody and you meet them all the way made up, unless you go see them all the way made up, your expectation has already been set. It's the same thing you would see if you had it on social media, if you had it on these apps. You see somebody, they got their dope pictures because that's what they want you to see. But the minute you catch them in the streets and they ain't like that, she might look like a whole different person though, bro. So that's the reason why I think that women will find that they may have guys holler at them when they least expect it, and uses them shopping at Target. They might be, up in Walmart, ran in for some eggs, and a dude might see him walk past and be like, yo, what's happening?
Yeah, I feel that. Now, last question about the dating thing, bro. The other thing, man, is sending people home in Ubers, bro. You sending somebody home in an Uber, bro?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Explain that one to me.
So, like, nowadays, most of the time, right? If you're still feeling somebody out, you're not necessarily having them come pick you up. You might either drive or you might Uber there to meet at the location. And then when the night is over, your date, I guess, is supposed to pay for your Uber back to your spot. Because, first date, you might not be gonna have that spend the night bag. So, I think it's customary now that you would send a young lady home in an Uber. So you got to foot the bill for that too.
Okay, so if that's, how far do you go with that then, right? Because do you also pay for her to get a sitter? Like, since she got kids, so because she can't, you want to go out on a date with her, right? So if you want to go out on a date with her that bad, do you pay for her to have her kids watch for you to go out on a date with her? Like,
no. It ain't nothing like that. It's just it's the gesture of making sure that you get home safe. That's what the gesture is.
So listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can appreciate the gesture. Now, I do think that if that's the expectation, then that's it, right? Especially, but here's the thing about it. I think that does also require it requires some sense of obligation as well. Like, and I say this obligation two ways, because if the expectation is that I'm going to pay to send you home to make sure you get home at the end of the day, I would also like to think that you, as the female, it's going to sound crazy, but that you would have some type of obligation of the date not going completely sideways to get directly. You can't talk to me crazy. You can't say nothing off brand, sideways, and then say, you ain't even paid to get me. Nah. So I think that it's funny because I feel like you have some obligation to funnel or filter what you might say to somebody based off of that expectation.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, right? You go on a date, you both parties have the expectations. See, the thing is, I would expect you to pay if from a female's perspective, I would expect you to pay for the Uber, but I still got my own money if I need to skate, right? Because if let's say we, you know what I'm saying, we meet up, we just meeting for drinks first, and during the drinks conversation, there's no chemistry, the conversation is whack. I don't even want to do dinner. So it's drinks and I'm out. I'm paying for my own Uber, boom, I'm gone. But if the night progresses or whatever the case may be, and the dude has the expectation of, all right, look, I'm trying to show her I'm a gentleman, I'm gonna make sure she get home, so I'm gonna offer to pay for her Uber. Like but I just think the gesture of it is just like, all right, it's game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, you putting your best representative out there. Because if, like you said, if the dude ain't feeling it, or if he feel like, nah, yeah, this ain't going nowhere, or she talking crazy, nah, you find your own way home.
And so then, but that's so. I'm not gonna lie. Me knowing the kind of person I am, unless she came across as like disrespectful or whatever, I think that just me being the person that I am, I still would probably pay for her to get the Uber, even if I wasn't necessarily feeling her, she wouldn't feel me, and it was completely obvious. It's like, listen, that just to me comes with just going out on a date with the chick, though, right? You chalk it up as an expense. But then here's the thing about it: is the expectation always the guy? Like, I don't know what these new dudes is talking about, but there is like, is there a chance where she pays for your Uber? Like, what if a girl offered to say, little daddy, this thing I ain't feeling this, let me offer to pay your way to get you your Uber call back to the crib.
Now, I don't know what these new dudes is doing, but I'm just saying, bro, like, you just got to be prepared, right? Like, we just come from a school of spontaneity. You know what I'm saying? Where you just can flow with however the night leads you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a script or nothing like that. So,
but here's the thing. Here's a question I have for you, though, right? If the expectation for a female, right, is that the guy pays for you to go for you to make sure you get home, right? Then I would think that a fair question that a female will have to a guy is that if the expectation flipped, let's say you flip that, and a guy said, "Hey man, if this ain't going well, at the end of the day, I'm going to expect for you to pay for me an Uber to get back to the crib." Hypothetically, though, right? Should you even be out dating if you can't afford to find your way back to the crib? Like, I can understand if you say, I don't have a car. There are plenty of cities, New York in particular, where New Yorkers, there are a lot of people from New York who I've met that just don't have driver's license. You can get everywhere on the subway. There's cabs, Ubers. That's a normal thing for them. But I'm just sitting here thinking about in Atlanta, where to go downtown is a 45-minute ride. You know what I'm saying? For you to go in different places around it, just Gwinnett County, it's 20 minutes to meet up somewhere, though, right? So my thing is that I think for Atlanta, that's probably why that would be weird to me, because if you taking an Uber to meet up with me, I think that you have to think something of me to want to go ahead and pay to come meet me. That's why I would pay to make sure you got back to the crib. But at the same time, it's like, if getting back home through an Uber and you not necessarily having that kind of bread to pay for your ride back, then you probably shouldn't be out there dating. You should probably be cooling out. Let them take sit on the sidelines for a little longer.
I don't think the Uber is me paying for your Ubers because you don't have the money. I just think it's part of the date package. Is what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? If I invite you on a date, then I should be paying for the meal because I invited you out.
It's true.
Right? Unless the date is going sideways, you don't feel like it's going anywhere. You can do it in two ways, because it might be like, look, I ain't feeling this. we definitely don't have no chemistry. You pay for your own meal. Like you could be a butthole like that, but we ain't built like that. So what I'm saying is now that's the additional part of the package of if you Uber to meet me, I'm paying for the meal and I'm paying to make sure that you get home safe. That's just part of the package. The woman, her dad should have told her, like, look, you always have your own money just to be prepared for any situation. It's no guarantee that the person you going out with is gonna have the same morals like that. Because some dudes might be like, well, look, if you ain't coming off these cakes, then after dinner, that's a wrap.
Listen, man, I'm thinking, first dates, right? First date, after the first date, you know what I'm saying? Like that can't be a second date thing. Third date, there has to be more. You got to start to establish some ground rules prior to dating somebody when you go out on a third date with them, right?
Yeah,
On
but
the
I think by
expectations.
second or third day, right? It should be to a point where maybe I can come pick you up for the date because conversations and stuff should have happened after that first date to see if it's even leverage for a second date.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even if I have to come pick you up from somewhere else, if you felt like I don't want you to know where I live at right now, that's perfectly fine. But if you say, well, hey, pick me up from whoever house or what, I don't care what that is. But I think that my thing is that by the time we actually go out on uh, a second or third date, I agree with it. There should be some kind of ground rules or rules of engagement put out there, though, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. So that's one of those things, though, bro, where if that was a big deal, like, like if we were in, like that's the thing about it. So let's say if you were on a dating app and let's say I'm in, and think about it on the Atlanta scene. So I'm on the north side and then I'm talking to some chick who lives on the south side and we go meet up downtown because it's halfway point for both of us, though, right? I suppose that at my age, right? At my age, I don't know. Listen, bro, now you got me thinking. At my age, I don't know that I'm willing to date a chick who's concerned about having a ride back to the crib, though, bro. I guess for me, maybe I'm just too bougie.
Yeah, but you taking
I'm
this the
frugal.
wrong way, bro.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I'm too frugal.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's a part of dating now. Is what I'm saying is you are. So what I'm saying is back when we was dating, it was the expectation that we would pay for the meal, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so paying for the ride home is a part. That's a part of the package now. It's not that she don't have no money. That's not what I'm saying. Like you're saying it like she can't afford to get home.
No. So that's so okay. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm too old, right? I'm too old to talk to somebody where a ride is even an issue.
There is no issue. That's what I'm saying. You keep saying issue. There is no issue on the ride. She's not telling you that you have to do it. She has the money that she can get her own Uber to leave. It's no issue. It's the expectation of the date now. That's what I'm explaining to you.
I get what you mean. I understand what you mean.
It's no issue. She has her own way to get home. It's just the gesture is it's the gentleman thing to do to go ahead and offer to pay for her to get home.
Hey, listen, man, I can listen. I'm gonna be honest. When I was saying that out, I said, yo, I could totally see how if somebody watched this and was like, damn, that boy sassy as hell, though. Because I'm just sitting here thinking, like, if that's even if that's it, I understand that can be something that goes without being said. But once it's said, then that's where it becomes an issue for me.
Because my thing is that at the end of the day, right? Any girl who's raised correctly is going to have her own money that she can take care of her meal if she needs to. She can get home if she needs to. But if you invite me on a date, then I expect for you to pay. And that now in 2023 includes making sure that I get home safe. Now, if you drive your own car, that don't mean I got to make sure you got gas money. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is if we Uber into a spot, especially somewhere in a big city or whatever like that, where it's a lot of traffic, and I just rather just stick and move or whatever. Then no, it's at the end of the night, the expectation is now you gotta, hey, let's put in on this Uber. Yo, but let's move on just a little bit. So the girl Ebony K was talking about women's values. She basically, and this is just a nutshell. If you want to hear exactly what she said, go listen to her comments. But excuse me, overall, she was saying that women that are pursuing careers or college degrees and stuff like that, you also need to be prioritizing getting that ring, because the older you get, your stock goes down, and your pool of men gets smaller too, because your fertility, your looks, all of that begin to go, they decrease. So you're opening yourself up because you've been focusing on your career or going to school. You've been focusing on that aspect when there's guys that are readily available in your same time frame who are looking to have a future. What is your thoughts about that? And she did say it's your choice.
It is your choice. It's totally your choice. I'm gonna be listen. I agree with 1,000%. I couldn't agree with it more. And this is the thing about it. And this is gonna sound wild because this is coming from, again, a 43-year-old man who I certainly can appreciate. I think my wife is a bad 40-something-year-old woman, right? And I can appreciate it, but I can also tell you that for me, and I think that my wife would also be able to think. I think she's still dope. But listen, even with me at 40, like, listen, I had the good hair. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was 25. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing about it. The flip side to that is this. There were things in terms of my attractiveness physically, right, that were there when I was in my 20s, right? And so now, let's just say you've been working on your career and everything, that, whatever. So then let's just say if that's indeed the case, you get into that point where you get in your 30s, right? And then you really start to get in that gray area, because then it's like you might be the guy who, at that point, where your pool starts to shift is that now you're dating guys that are later on in age as well. So here it is. You might be in that area where there's a guy who he is just like me. He ain't got them waves no more, right? So even his attractiveness is just different. So it's like, I think as you get older, what looks good to you or what's attractive to you changes, but certain things hold true. And I think that I think that what she was basically saying to me that I agree with, that I look at that is saying that I understand that there are people who would get married and then they get divorced, and then they would think like, you know what, I ain't getting married again, right? I'm cool with being single. Like today, if I was for some reason was divorced, I went through marriage, wouldn't do it again. Not that I don't enjoy marriage, not that I don't love being married or whatever, though, man. I just don't know that I would want to be as committed and know somebody the way that I know my wife all over again after having done it before, right?
But let's be honest though, right? Dudes can get away with it a little bit more than females getting older, right? Because there's people, for instance, women when they younger, some of them want thugs, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then when we get older, right? The bald heads is in, bro. The bald heads and the beards is in.
But the margin, so this is the thing, but to me, this is the thing I think is different. The thing that's unfortunate for women is that the margin for error to me is way different. It's smaller.
Yes.
Like
yes.
if you're a guy, put it like this. I think that if you're a guy, and this is going to sound, it's a very double standard, but I think that as a guy, that you're like when you're a female and you go through the thug stage, right? Like how long are you gonna go through the thug stage all in your 20s, right? Because then you're in college, like she was saying, you're pursuing your education, you're pursuing your career, but you still are into the thug dude, the tough guy dude, or whatever. And then here it is, you get him, and now you're this professional woman, polished, and you still have this street dude. And it's just like that. That's cool. I think that what she was saying, that's cool for in your early 20s, but don't belittle marriage. And that's what I think. It's like for me, I think that one of the things that where I look at things different is that, I think that some people look at getting married early is such a bad thing. And I don't necessarily think it is.
I don't agree with that either. It's because I feel like this, right? Most dudes want to marry you in your prime.
Yes.
That's the prime finance.
Yes.
Prime, like most dudes want to get with you in your prime so they can show you off and you can age gracefully and stuff like that. But like, let me get you while you still out here fine. You know what I'm saying? Where it's still tight. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want, like, listen, people talk like, and even for men, it, maybe this is the double standard, but I think that to me, if, like, listen, bro, I think that, when women say, oh, I would have done this more, I would have done these things, all these things, and usually guys imply that means that you would have slept around a little bit more, you would have had more relationships more. But I think that when you go down that road and that's your experience, then the guy, the quality guy that you're talking about, that you really want to marry, he ain't gonna want all of that. Though he ain't gonna want you after you've been ran through and after you've been out there for the streets. And now you say, all right, I'm retired. It's cool that you know how to do all of those things that you was doing out in the streets, but it doesn't change the fact that you got the knowledge. So just because you are, if you listen, a Lamborghini is always going to be a Lamborghini, but a Lamborghini with 100,000 miles on it is not the same as a Lamborghini with dealer tag still on it, though, bro. So it's like, I think that the big thing is that I don't think that there's nothing wrong with giving yourself or committing to somebody at your peak prime, because that's the most, like she was saying, it gets downhill to a certain point. And even as a guy, if this is the best version of me right now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can get wisdom as you grow older and everything like that. But unless you're telling me that you peaked later in life, I can understand why you might not. But if at your peak attractiveness, at your peak physical, at your peak mental, everything, though, man, like I'm all for pursuing marriage, provided that you got all your stuff in a row and that you're also looking for someone who's an equal, though, man. And I think that the problem with it usually, to me, that I see is that when people start to have their issues, I think that they're just not, they've chose the wrong person. But the pursuit, to me, is still the thing to do, though, man.
Well, the other thing too is your expectation of the people that you would be looking for the older you get. It's that your list is going to get shorter and shorter.
Yes.
Those people are going to be taken. And then you stuck knocking off. Now you stuck with being with people that have the red flags that you was like, nah, I'm not trying to get with that. And you're going to end up by yourself. So I understand what she's saying, man. And it's like, again, again, there's nothing wrong with people that want to focus on the career, but you have to understand it. That comes at a price.
It does. And listen, I can appreciate that. And listen, that's not to deter you. If you are somebody if you're a doctor, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about damn near 10 years of school after high school. So by the time you get done and you're doing all your fellowships and everything like that, when you all the way a full practice of doctor, from the time you're 18 all the way up until by the time you finish school, you might be knocking on 28 years old, almost 30 years old. And that's cool, because to me, if that's what you had to do for that particular career, that's perfectly fine. I think that should be rewarded and well worth it. But I also think that when it comes down to it, it's like, all right, well, now your pool of guys is different now, though, right? And it could be a good thing. For some people, it could be that, well, right now is my prime. My peak is right now, right? So
it is very much not impossible to find somebody when you're later on in your age. It's not what we're saying. It's just the longer you wait, the shorter your list is going to get, is what I'm saying. And, like I said, dating is different. And a lot of people that are single, you hear them say all the time, like, man, this single life is for the birds. I mean, there's people that enjoy it, but when them lonely times hit.
Yes, man. Yeah, I think. Listen, man. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says, though, man. I don't care what nobody say. When even when you get to the point where, like I said, like, hey, man, you know what? If something happened, I only plan to get married one time, right?
Yeah.
So even then, that won't say that there won't be lonely times or relationships or whatever. But the actual aspect of marriage, though, nah. But again, yeah, but that's because I would have already experienced that, though, man. But I just think that I don't know, man. I don't know. Being single so early gone, I think it's fine if you're still growing, but if the goal to me, if your goal is to be married, then I would imagine that, especially in your 20s, that you're building yourself to be more of an attractive catch. That's just my thought.
Yeah. Well, look, man, we got a lot of stuff to get into, and we stuck on this. Hey, let's get into the big topic, bro. What you think about this Dame trade, bro?
I think that it is game shifting, season shifting, right? Because so this is the thing I think that's crazy. So I think that one of the things that if you're Portland, I think that it's one of the few times where you can trade for a superstar and everybody still wins, right? I think that Portland, they got Scoot Henderson, who basically plays the same position that Dame plays. So now you open up the room for him to go ahead and play. You got Anthony Simons, who you just extended as well. So he's out there doing his thing. And you got all the draft capital. So you traded for Dame, and then boom, you in return for that, you got Drew Holiday. Then you trade Drew Holiday for more for more draft capital. But then you also get, Robert Williams in that trade. You got Malcolm Brogdon, who I think they would also end up trading to somebody else, though, man. So Portland wins out. I think the one thing that's going to be interesting to me, though, man, is to see, like, I think that Dame and Giannis, I don't know if Giannis is used to being in a pick and roll situation, but I think that one thing that it does is that, to me, it opens the court up even more for Giannis, because now Dame, because he can shoot from so much further, you got to guard him further away, less people near the basket. It wouldn't surprise me, bro, if both of them average 30 points a game this season.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I think Phoenix did well in this trade as well too. They got from up under
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, they got Grayson Allen, they got Nurkic. So I feel like Phoenix obviously has been trying to get rid of Ayton.
Yeah,
like apparently that he basically got Monty fired, and then they was still like, it's something still wasn't right with him. They had to let him go. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things, bro, that it was actually, I think everybody won out, because even the Celtics, right? They get Drew Holiday. So now they got Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum. Like, I think everybody was happy.
Who did? Everybody involved with the trade wins, but who just lost out is the damn Miami Heat. And so at some point, though, right? At some point, something has to be said. Somebody has to say, if everybody always adds Miami to their list of trade destinations and they haven't got anybody, why is that happening? Because KD had them on his list. They missed out on Brad Beal twice, and they now missed out on trying to get Drew Holiday and Dame. So it's like, bro, what exactly is up with their front office? Like, I understand that they might want to trade, but still.
If you Miami, do you then go to get Harden?
No. And the reason why you don't go out the Harden is because, for the same reason why that trade hasn't happened now. It sounds like that the Sixers are saying they want too much for Harden in return. And then I think that for what you would have to give up to get Harden, I just don't think that you're going to get that much bang for your buck, because I think that what would end up happening is that you would have to include Tyler Hero in your trade to do that, though, in addition to probably a first round draft pick, maybe a couple of those. And it's just, at the end of the day, I don't think that James Harden at this point in his career is worth what you would have to give up to get him. So for me, I look at that and I say, you might have to just ride out this season and then see, well, who is the next superstar up? Like Giannis isn't up for his new contract until next year, but he said he'll resign. But you got to start looking a year out and then start to see who is out there next year that you can get that, you know what I'm saying? They would be better off, to me, to be honest, trying to trade for like Trae Young, bro. Like somebody like that, I think would work for them. But
I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, right? If you Tyler Hero, don't you demand a trade now?
No, I don't think so. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And maybe I haven't been as high on Tyler Hero as everybody else. And this is the reason why I don't think they. So with all things considered, they paid you, they extended you out, right? So you got your big contract, and you were hurt for a good portion of that season where they couldn't necessarily depend on you, right? So I get it. I think that he'll just have to chalk that up as, hey, it's just part of the business. But if they ever traded for anybody, though, he would be included in that, though, man.
Yeah, him and Duncan Robinson.
I just think that they're the most expendable ones, though, bro.
Right.
I think they're good, but they're not great. Now, if he goes all-star level this year, then you don't trade him, though, man. But I don't know. I don't know how you put together a package that don't include him. So he's going to go. It just didn't happen this time, though.
Right. I'm going to be honest, bro. Outside of the shenanigans, I'm not really a big fan of media day, bro. So it's like I don't want to hear you talking about what we gonna do this season. I just want to see you get out there and play. But I'm here for the shenanigans. Like I'm here for emo Jimmy, bro. I'm here for everybody, talking about they gonna play for the Olympics and stuff like that. I'm here for Kawhi talking about the league ain't gonna make him do more than what is necessary for him. Like I like hearing all that stuff. Give me the smoke, but just a regular conversation. Just give me the cliff notes, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Every team should be optimistic at this point because everybody got the same record at this point, though, man. But I mean, at the same time, though, man, I think that Kawhi, what he said was probably the most profound thing that I found from that media day, and that he was basically saying, "Hey, I'm not sitting out just to be sitting out for my health. I'm sitting out because I've been injured. This is what's required for me to come back. So the goal is for me to sit down so that I can play as many games as possible." I thought his explanation made sense to me, but at the same time, I still feel the same way I do about load management, though, bro.
Yeah, I don't really care about the load management thing, to be honest. Now, if you're saying, okay, we don't want both stars out, I get that. Unless you both are legitimately hurt. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is that if I'm able to take off at my job, then I can't be mad at somebody else taking off of their job, especially if the league schedules you to play back-to-back games getting older.
Yeah, but but your job isn't 4 months long, 5 months long, 6 months long. It requires you to work on your body all year round, but the actual job starts in October and ends in June. So you're talking about 9 months.
I understand that, but Charles, you are how old?
About to hit that 4 Trey.
Okay, so you just said that your body, after 2 days of playing, you had to have that old man day. These dudes got a lot of miles on they legs and knees, and while I understand they're getting paid for it, it still is their body, and they are trying to make sure that they are lasting longer. Well, so I this is my thing. Let me put the caveat out there. I understand from the fan perspective that you might be saving up your money, and that's the game you go to, and you're expecting to see the star. I understand that. I totally get it. But I'm also a human and understand that people do need rest sometimes. So I'm here for that too.
Listen, man, if I got the kind of treatments that them boys have, I'd be going. But you can't just necessarily. I understand that there's the wear and tear and everything like that. But it's the modern medicine part that I just can't. I can't oversee that. I can't oversee that. I can't oversee why it was a common thing that everybody, your goal was to play as many games as possible, right? And now you have this big advancement in modern medicine, and you have all these kind of treatments, and now you have better facilities, you have better everything. So I can't get with that. I can't let that slide.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Only the person themselves know their body. And the thing is like it ain't new. People knew Kawhi was dealing with injuries before he got to the Clippers. So if that's how he has his contract structured, I whatever.
Yeah, listen, if his contract says that that's allowable, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
If that's a negotiation, that's cool with me.
yeah, bruh. My Bears lost again, bruh. They had the game. Listen, this is the thing. I'm watching, and you had just told me the Bears out here whooping Denver, right? I'm like, let me turn it on. As soon as I turn it on, I see my boy Justin Fields running for his life. Somebody to knock the ball out, picked it up, ran it back. They tied the game up. They try to come back, dust themselves off, get down there, have 4th and 1, and they got the option to kick the field goal or go for it. They go for it and don't get it. Denver comes down, kicks the field goal. So now it's 31-28. Bears have another opportunity. Boom. The boy Justin Fields throws interception. Game over. I was just like, bruh.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, at least y'all were winning. I know I can pinpoint, and you and I talked about this enough to where we know what the Bears' problem is. Y'all need a whole lot of everything. My problem with the Saints, though, bro, is that I just can't. I think I know what the issue is, though, bro. But then this part of me is like it's twofold, right? Because this is the thing that's crazy. So Derek Carr last week had his shoulder sprain, came back, and they said, all right, he's completely injured. There's no pain. He's good. So when you step out there, I'm going to assume that nothing's wrong with you because you're out there, right? So when you do something good, you can't be all good. And then when something bad happens, it's like shoulder, whatever. So we get out here though, man, and he just like our issue, I think, is a combination of play calling because we out here running plays where everybody's deep. Everybody is deep, nothing underneath. So he's looking, and our thing is that those deep routes take time to develop. Well, our offensive line, at least on our left tackle, has been weak, give up all these sacks. It's not giving them enough time to. I guess I just thought that he was more athletic to be able to get out of the pocket. But he ain't getting out of the pocket. He's only going to step up, and he's stepping up into the defense. So it's just like part of me feels like for us, it's play calling, it's offensive line, and it's just a lot of bad quarterback play, though, bro. I'm thoroughly disappointed so far in what we've got from Derek Carr, bro. Thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah, and that sucks because he had so much upside leaving the Raiders that, you know what I'm saying, I feel bad for him and Russ that they left, and that's making the teams look like they made the right decision on getting rid of him. You know what I'm saying?
I think that he put this though, man. It told me enough that to me, Derek Carr is like he's like Kirk Cousins. He is a Dak Prescott. He is all those middle of the road quarterbacks that you can rank anywhere from 20 to 15 to 20, maybe that 12, the top 12 to somewhere between 12 and 20, where they may win your game every once in a while, but you're not putting it in and say, let's go. Nah, it told me that he is mid, bro. He is just mid. And it started to make me madder and madder. I want to blame everybody else for all the other stuff, but I can't absorb him from the stuff that he's been doing, though, bro.
Yeah, did you watch that Washington and Philly game?
I did, man. And listen, people, I don't know what to make about Philly. Because Philly's been playing a lot. They've been winning a lot of close games. And I think it got to be tough that you lost both of your coordinators. You know what I'm saying? You lost your offensive and defensive coordinators. And so I'm sure that has something to do with it. You got new play calling, you know what I'm saying, on both sides of it. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about Philly this year. I thought Philly seemed to be the odds-on favorite, but I got a feeling that as much as I hate to say it, man, San Francisco. I'm starting to get sick of San Francisco fans, though. Oh my gosh! But they look like they're the best team, and I think if they went head-to-head, I would probably put money on San Francisco before I put money on Philly. But I'm starting to hate their fans, though, bro.
Now I see that, but I mean, I feel like if you still are able to win when you're not playing necessarily your best game, then because not every week you're gonna play at your best. And so if you're still able to pull off the win, and then let's not get it twisted. Washington ain't no scrubs this year, man. They was 2-0 or 3-0 as well. You know what I'm saying? So their quarterback seems to be fitting pretty well. And let's not act like the new offensive coordinator ain't helping out. So
Derek Carr isn't better than Sam Howell. He's about the same. God, like that makes you so mad, bro. God, dog. Derek damn Carr.
So we got the Ahsoka finale for tonight, bro. What you want to see?
I want to see finality. It's, as much as I see, I want to see how they wrap up this series, because I don't know if the expectation is that it's gonna be like Mandalorian, right? Where it's gonna be, it could be another adventure, right? If this is just a one-time series,
it's not.
Okay, so if that's the case, though, man, I'd want to see how they wrap things up. I want to see her. Yeah.
The way they got it slated, right? So Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, all of those are in a universe, right?
Yeah.
So what they're doing is there should be 2 seasons of Ahsoka, another season of Mandalorian, and then they're gonna have the Dave Filoni movie that comes out in like 2026 with all of them in it, like the Avengers. So, and then the boy Thrawn is supposed to be like Thanos. So like you shouldn't expect Thrawn to die or nothing like that.
Blue dude.
Right. You shouldn't expect
him.
He
seems so mid. Like he doesn't even seem like he's like
But that's because if you don't know him from everything else, like if you ain't seen him in Rebels, then I can understand why you think he's mid, because he's doing exactly, he's a tactician. Like what he does, he will sacrifice a few of his people just to see how you operate and then capitalize on it. Like he's a tactician. That's why he's been so successful. If you notice, he's been the only Grand Admiral that you've seen that's an alien. Everybody else is human, right? With the Republic, the Resistance, or the all of them, you see the different aliens like Akbar and all of them, but you have not seen that with the Empire and stuff like that. So even him becoming a Grand Admiral, that happened when he was young, like super duper young, because of his mind. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the only people that knows that Anakin is Darth Vader. So he knows that. Balin knows that. There's a few people. Not everybody knows that he turned into Vader. So that's the thing. Like the dude is really, really, really smart. You know what I'm saying? And so again, if you ain't watched Rebels and you don't know who he is, that's why he seemed mid to you, because he's very, very smart, and that's what he does. He was telling old girl, he was like, look, I ain't worried about them getting back together. That was never the plan. The plan was to get these caskets on here so we can roll out. Like they can get together, but they ain't got no way to get back to where we going.
Yeah. That bothers time. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, bro. So this video sparks with Kanye. I guess it's from like 2018. He was going in on Pusha T. He was going in on Nas. He was going in on Cardi. What you make all of that, bro?
Okay, so listen, bro. I'm tired of giving Kanye the pass on. Either like he may have been having a manic episode or something like that. He already said he was bipolar. That's fine. There may be the reason that he's doing. He may say something to do, but I'm over giving him the excuse, though, bro. Like I'm talking about over the excuse. I think that it is funny, though, man, that he's gone on to do music with most of those people. That he said something after that, though, man, because he did the joint with Cardi B and Lil Durk that came out earlier this year or last year. I don't know, man. Like I don't want to just be like, oh, that's just crazy Kanye talking again. He may have been. I'm not gonna listen, man. I'm just trying to give him the excuse that he's bipolar and that maybe he's just having an episode. You said it though, bro. So whatever backlash comes with it though, bro, I think he's earning it though, bro. But I'm over giving him the excuse though, bro.
Yeah, but even if that was back in 2018, we still holding him accountable for it.
It's 5 years ago, bro. Yes, I think. Listen. I think that it would be one thing if people heard it, but the minute that it gets surfaced and it becomes on the internet, it's permanent. So something from 5 years ago, I think that's not something you can easily wash away. Yes, I
but
still would hold him
my
accountable
thing.
for something he said 5.
What if that was a private conversation though?
It don't matter. It
it.
don't matter. It don't listen. But this that looked like Kanye wanted it to be recorded because while it's a private, I could understand if somebody had on like a secret camera recording.
I understand that this was for a documentary.
That was great quality. Yes,
right. I understand this was for a documentary. So he, like you said, he obviously wanted it to come out. I'm asking you, what if this was a private conversation that leaked?
It don't matter. It don't matter. You just said, listen, it don't matter to me. You said you said it. That's how you feel. So the only thing that you're embarrassed about it coming out, not what you said, though, bro.
But there's a lot of things that people say behind closed doors that shouldn't be public. Like what I'm saying is this, bro. Everybody has a person that they let they real feelings know, and then what you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of people's internal thoughts that if was leaked.
Listen, bro. If half the stuff we talk about was ever leaked, though, bro, we'd probably be canceled, not just on social media, right, everywhere. And we'd be canceled in life. But here's the thing about it. At the end of the day, if there was something, because I know that, if there's something that did come out and it was a recording that I'm looking into, like I wanted that to happen, though, bro. So I'm not. But that's the reason why I can't give him the pass, bro.
Yeah,
it's permanent. It's like the reason why people can never get over Chris Brown putting them paws on Rihanna. Right? It happened when he was 19 years old. That man's like 30 years old now, and people still talk like it happened just yesterday, bro. It's permanent. It's there. Yeah. That's on your resume.
But see that just to me lines up, and I'm not talking about the Kanye thing. I'm more so talking about the Chris Brown thing, right? That just goes to the cancel culture to me, where you expect it not to have any growth after 10 years. Because I'm just saying, we just had a whole segment where we talked about dating and how people change and this, that, and the other, and how much more wiser you can become in 10 years. People can change, and I'm not saying like, I wasn't in that car, so I don't know why he put them paws on her. But I ain't heard nobody get them paws put on them since.
Listen, people still hold Joe Biden accountable for the laws that he pushed to put in place back in the 80s around crack. Back in the 80s. So this is both 79, 80. So you're talking about 43 years ago. People still quote him verbatim. Like, sir, listen, and to some people, they can never get over that. And I'm not saying that they should. I'm just saying that there are certain things that will always trigger people that you'll never be able to recover from.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what you got up for the week?
So, this week, though, man, I think that I am I'm trying to get back into the lab. I'm trying to go ahead and I think that I'm gonna try to just hop in there real briefly tonight, but I think that tomorrow, I think I'm trying to go ahead and get in there real heavily. I got some things that I've been writing that I want to at least put the scratch recordings down to, see how they go. And then outside of that, man, my sister's birthday is coming on up here, though, man. So we're planning to slide on now for a little bit, probably like sometime for that this weekend, though, man. So yeah. What about you?
Well, like I told you, I got my appointment in the morning, 8:00 in the morning. Then I got my dental appointment later on that day. I'm trying to get these teeth white before we go to that.
Lord.
Yeah.
No, man, that's dope. I am getting pretty excited because this, basically this is the last weekend before we go ahead and slide on out there. So there's some things that I'm trying to go ahead and make sure I pick up as well the lineup. So yeah.
Yeah, and definitely Texas OU weekend is this weekend. So I'm gonna
Texas OU is that. Listen, this weekend is that day is definitely I think every year I've made like nachos and this, that, and the other. So it is that kind of weekend for.
Yeah, I already asked the kids what they want. Deuce already put in his order of what he want. I don't know if Tari gonna make his appearance like he didn't do last year. That boy didn't want none of that. 49-0. He was like, nah.
I'm curious on how this one's gonna go, though, man. I think we look good, but OU looks better than I thought they were gonna look.
Yeah, Yeah, they won't be no excuses because they'll have their quarterback. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see.
All right, bro. Let's get on out of here.
Let's do it.
Doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Splash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Splash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you
of
dig
all
it,
time.
nigga? Stuck up.